What's up, YouTube? I'm in your video screen on your computer. I'm here next to you, giving you a little talk for today. And this is my little wisdom that I want to share with you, my little piece of information of what's going on. So, today I want to talk about fasting in the wilderness vision quest. Uh, Last year, I guess in November, I was in AIT at Fort Huachuca, Arizona, with the Army. And that's when I learned about Stephen Foster. Stephen Foster and Meredith Little, which is his wife. And Stephen Foster is this white guy, humble, was a university professor, was very unhappy with life and the way his life was going and the structure of the routine of artificial lights. He was a professor at a university in California, and one day he was just like, I've had enough, that's it. He had a wife at the time and two kids. He just packed up his bags and got a van and set that van east to the Sierra Nevadas, in eastern California in Nevada, and just was for a year just exploring the Mojave Desert and the hot, dry climate of that area. And and very interesting book. So he wrote the book called Vision Quest and Personal Transformation in the Wilderness. And I feel that it can be an important thing if people can apply that concept to their life. So what I want to do is I want to help prepare people to fast in the wilderness on 3 to 7 day fast. There's a lot to prepare for it. So you first plant the concept in your mind like, hey, I first read about it, first learned about it, and then like 7 months goes by and think about it a little bit. Like I might be ready to do this. So then you start preparing for it. So what does it take to go on a wilderness fast? Well, you want to pack probably like a 40-pound backpack and backpack. You can either pack a tent, but I would probably prefer a mosquito net hammock. And then you would want to pack a camelback too for water, or a small water bottle. So if there's like a river or stream nearby, you can always fill up with water. And a compass. You want a compass just to understand the location you are. So in case anything ever happens, you know you're heading west and you're getting back to civilization, back to your car. And then you also want to keep like a cell phone that's powered off, and a cell phone that's powered off. So if you ever do need to call park ranger or whatever, you can just turn it back on and make the call or something if you have connection. So see about that. So that's a little bit of like the preparation of the equipment that you'll need during this journey. Another facet of the wilderness therapy of the quest is whether you want to do it solo and not communicate with anybody during those 3 to 4 days, um, or if you want to do it in an intentional group of 4 to 5 people that are all seeking the same thing to improve themselves and intention, in the group setting. And one thing that's cool about the group setting is that you have 4 or 5 people that are in the same nature, oriented for the same thing, and you guys are able to hike in the morning, talk it out, whatever, and then at night you guys can set up a campfire and just discuss, have conversations and stories about life, and share what's going on in your life and where would you like to go and what's not making you happy and what could make you happy, and maybe create a bond that is tighter. That's like one thing I think we're missing in American society is we don't have that strength that binds us together. So like right now that's happening is like that bond is connected through sports. You know, people unite through sports. By every Sunday they go to a football game or they'll go to college football on Saturdays, and that's what will keep them together. But there's no rites of passage. There are rites of passage, they're just different. So I just want to more focus on the wilderness, nature oriented rites of passage. And that's what I feel like the transformational ceremonies can provide is people coming together, experiencing this other world substances, these plant medicines, and sharing with each other the communication of it. So you can go in groups or you can go solo. I recommend trying different things. I recommend first going solo, sleeping out with the trees. And it can be scary because if you're in a spot that's really wilderness and stuff, like bears and mountain lions, like I saw a jaguar in Peru, or like one of those type of female cats that was big, and my gosh, to find that in the wild is that would be scary. Even with like a loaded pistol, I'd still be scared because the animal is just so strong, and it's just from birth it's been programmed to hunt. So that's what it's good at, and that's what it will do in a perfect style is hunt you. So in America, we don't have too many wild animals, so that won't be a problem. But you definitely want to have the safety precautions of either bear mace or of like a flare gun or a pistol or a big jackknife or something to protect yourself from the wild. So we covered a little bit about the equipment, covered a little bit about the setting, whether you want to go group or solo. Um, and the main thing is not to do too much when you're out um, in this wilderness quest. It's to follow the rhythms of nature, just to observe nature and your routine of the rhythm. And what's cool is that when you're in your home, you have the temptations of all the foods in the cabinet. But when you're out in the wild, you're not going to pack any of those foods. So you have to do other things rather than stuff your body with those types of filling foods of like the cookies or the cravings of the chocolate and stuff like that. So your morning's going to be different. Maybe you camped out near a beautiful river or stream, and so your morning is getting naked and jumping in the stream and getting that cold ice refreshing feeling of jumping into a cold body of water. um and that to me, man, that will put you from zero tired and groggy to 100 or ready to go and take on the day. So jump in a river, maybe just chill out for a few hours, or maybe go for a walk after that, and then in the afternoon chilling out when the sun's at its highest peak and it's at its hottest moment. And then what else do you do? I don't know. You find a hobby that you want to do, whether bring a book or you can journal on your phone or journal on a notebook, although it might get wet. But you just contemplate and relax and get clear with what you want. And I don't know. Maybe try to listen to see if nature is nature communicating with you. Can you listen to it, and maybe like if you're in the wilderness at night, is it different from being in the city and in the suburbs with the house? Are you getting different information from all the plants and trees and wind and stuff that's happening that you might not be able to receive when you're sleeping indoors? So I wonder if you sleep outside, you access information through the guy in mind that you can't attain by being indoors. So that's another aspect. So the clearing resetting of that. So my main thing, I guess, if I was out in the wilderness to go on the fast, would to be near a stream, a body of water, to go into that water, and at night to have my campfire. I think those would be the two things that I would look forward to doing, and that's how I'd pass my time, is cutting the firewood, building the fire at night, water in the morning, jumping in the river or the stream, and going in at night. And maybe archery. That's something I'm gonna learn later. But that was the little gist of Stephen Foster and Vision Quest. Very humble, low key guy. I think he died like in the early 2000s, something like that. But he left on a legacy, and he definitely planted the seed for other people to water and flower and continue to grow something that was a rites of passage, an ancient tradition that was lost. But it's gonna regain and it's gonna be something again. So that's another thing I'd like to do with my piece of property eventually, is to do those ceremonies and to take people out on those group and single fasts and to prepare them for something um, not of this world. So that's it. That's all I got. Peace.